Hey everybody, this is Helena Hart. Welcome to my live stream on 6 nice girl habits that cause a man to lose attraction and take you for granted. I did a live stream a few months ago where I shared some more of these habits that actually just destroy a man's attraction for you and push him away. And after going through some comments over on that video today, I came up with 6 more habits that are just so common. These are much more subtle, but you might find that you're falling into doing some of these, especially if you have strong feelings for a man. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my latest videos. And feel free to say hi in the chat. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll get to as many as I can at the end. So I want to start out by saying that this is not about changing who you are or pretending to be someone you're not or putting walls up and just being bitchy and trying to be this cool girl or ice queen. It's actually the opposite of that. I always say when someone asks my husband what his favorite thing is about me, he always says without hesitation, it's how kind and sensitive I am and how I have a big heart. So this isn't about changing that. If you are a kind, generous person, that's a great thing, but you don't want to be coming from this place where you're actually covering up your true authentic self and acting out of this fear or feeling that you're not good enough. And you're just doing these nice girl habits to try to make something happen with a man because you just don't feel worthy as yourself for who you are deep down. So when you start to really deeply value yourself and respect and love yourself, you'll actually have access to some of these kind, generous parts of yourself, if that's authentic and true to you, but they're coming from a real place where you can actually attract someone who deeply values and respects you too. I hope that makes sense. If you're with me on that and this is resonating with you, type yes in the comment section, just so I know that everyone understands that. It's really important. And let's get started. I see some people joining live, so I'm really happy to have you here with me today. The first nice girl habit that I want all women to break is making a man or the commitment or relationship you want with him the goal or the prize in your mind. This is something I've talked about before in some of my other videos. There's this tendency, especially if you're not attracted to that many people, and then one guy comes along and you finally feel attraction or chemistry with someone. It's easy to put that person on a pedestal without even realizing it. And then from that point, it really drives you to do some of these other things I'm going to be sharing here. So there's just this tendency when you really like someone to feel less than them. Has anyone ever experienced that? I know I certainly have. So let me know in the comment section. And just for the sake of time, I don't have too much time today. I'm just going to jump into number 2. If you have questions about any of these, let me know and I'll get to those at the end. The second nice girl habit is trying to basically twist yourself into a pretzel to become what you think this man wants, right? To try to become more appealing to him because you don't feel that who you are is enough deep down. So if you really like a guy, you might jump into convincing mode without even realizing it. I use this term convincing mode, and that looks like just trying to show him every single thing you have to offer and prove yourself to him and, try to convince him how great the two of you would be together or what an amazing partner you would be. Again, this is very subtle and it doesn't come from a bad place. It's not like you're trying to manipulate this guy. You're just trying to get him to like you. And it's actually a very unattractive energy. It pushes people away. Men can feel it. Men and women can feel it when someone's just trying to become what you think they want, right? You want to just turn that around if this is a habit for you. So number 3 is putting in way more effort than the other person is. I see this all the time. This could look like investing way more in a man than he's investing in you. This could apply to both men and women. My audience is mostly women here on YouTube, so the language I'm going to be using often reflects that. But if someone's not putting in a lot of effort and you have strong feelings for them, if you're caught in number 1, especially you've made him the prize or the goal in your mind, there's this tendency to want to just show him everything you have to offer, like I talked about in the last one, and just do everything, like drive to him and cook him meals and be his therapist or counselor and just listen to him and try and solve his problems and pay for all the dates and basically just making things as easy as possible for him. So if a man is not putting in effort, that shouldn't drive you to go into overdrive basically and overfunction and put in more effort just to keep this relationship going or keep it together out of a fear that you'll lose him or he'll slip away if you don't do that. So, number 4 is making excuses for a man who's not stepping up. I see this all the time. If you look at the comment sections of some of my other videos, you'll see women making so many excuses for men, giving them way too much benefit of the doubt, where the man's not really doing a whole lot there. He's not really showing up powerfully and consistently for her. But she'll say things like, he's really busy right now. He's going through a transition at work, or he's going through a difficult time, and that's why he can't put effort into this relationship. And they're just kind of buying into the excuses he's giving her, or they're making excuses themselves for a man who's just clearly not putting both feet in and prioritizing her. So you want to catch that right away if you find yourself making excuses for men. Number 5 is ignoring your own feelings and needs and desires, basically stuffing those down and just focusing on a man and how he feels, right? This is really common. We've all been there, especially women who just are really nice and understanding. They're so reasonable. They tend to not speak up when something bothers them. Like they don't want to set a boundary or standard or let a guy know if something is bothering them out of a fear that they'll push him away. And again, you can slip into a lot of these without even realizing it. So has anyone ever been there? I know I certainly have. It can be so easy, even if you're with a really great guy, to kind of stuff down your own feelings or desires because you don't want to rock the boat. You just want, everything to be good and you don't want to push him away, but it actually does just the opposite. So that's an important one to keep in mind too. And number 6 is so important. We've all been there, and that is staying in the wrong situations way too long, right? Not recognizing a situation or a man for what it really is and basically moving on when he's clearly showing you or telling you that he's not available or interested in the kind of relationship you want. This could look like waiting for a man endlessly, even when he's not moving things forward and showing up consistently for you, or being reliable and dependable. We've all been there. Has anyone ever stayed in a situation or a relationship way too long? That is one of the number one things I want women to turn around. So those are the 6 nice girl habits. Hi to everyone in the chat. Yes, Happy New Year, Maricel and AD. Thank you for everyone saying yes. Happy New Year to you, hubby and baby. Thank you so much. Yes, we don't have plans tonight because I have a 3-month-old baby, so we're just staying in, but I'm happy to connect with everyone. I didn't even know if anyone would be available. And I really want everyone to follow my podcast. That's what I'm talking about today. My Master Your Magnetism podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anywhere where you can listen to podcasts. That's where I'm spending most of my time these days. You might have noticed I'm kind of winding things down here on YouTube and putting my energy, really all of my energy, into my podcast. Has just been so much fun, such a great use of my time right now. It's a lot easier for me to be over there, and I can actually take callers and answer questions and connect with women in my community. It's totally free. So just search for Helena Hart or Master Your Magnetism by Helena Hart over on Spotify or Apple or really anywhere where you listen to podcasts. And that's where I'm going to be spending most of my time next year and beyond. I've just been having so much fun connecting with everyone over there. I do see one question: how to temper with the fear of the person going to someone else when the relationship could still go anyway. I think if you have a fear of someone going to someone else, typically that something's off in the dynamic. It's just not the right person for you. That is just not even in my reality at all, in my relationship or in my husband's reality. It's just a given that we're meant to be together and we are the ones that we want to be with. And that's what I want for everyone out there. So if you have a fear of losing a man to someone else, typically it's not the right man for you. I think if if that's something that comes up with every single guy, maybe you have more of like an anxious attachment style, that's something you can work on. But typically when I see questions like that, if you're dealing with a specific man here, something's going on where he's not really showing up consistently for you, and you might be picking up on that. So with the right person, you just won't have that fear. That will not come up at all. I promise you. That's what I have to say about that. I'd like to hear a little bit more about your situation. If you want to type some more in, let me know. But those are my initial thoughts. Thank you so much, everyone. Let me recap these 6 really quick, and then we can close out. Number 1 is making a man the goal or the prize in your mind. feeling less than him, which drives you to do some of these other habits. Number 2 is trying to become what you think he wants, twisting yourself into a pretzel to try to become more appealing to him. Number 3 is putting in way more effort than this other person is, basically, driving to him, making things as easy as possible. And this includes mental effort, by the way. So if this person, that you're obsessing with or overthinking everything with, they're not on YouTube researching videos on how to, better their relationship. If that's not happening and they're not putting in that same amount of mental effort or actual effort, then something's off in the dynamic there. Number 4 is making excuses for a man who's not stepping up. Number 5 is ignoring your own feelings, needs, and desires, stuffing those down and basically either focusing on the man and how he feels or holding on to those things and not wanting to speak up or set a boundary out of a fear that you're going to lose this person or push him away. And number 6 is staying in the wrong situations way too long, basically waiting for a man endlessly. I really want everyone to turn that pattern around if this is something that you tend to do. So that's all the questions I see. Oh, thank you so much. She says, hi, Helena. What do you think about age gap dating? I am 32 and currently dating a 43-year-old. What a great question. Let's see. I think, do I have a podcast episode on that? I think I might have an episode either on my podcast now or coming up. There's different schools of thought on this. I'd love to hear from everyone. Some people say age is just a number. It doesn't matter. If you're in the same stage of life, then I think it's fine. I would just focus on what he's doing. So rather than getting caught up in ages and these kind of superficial qualities, is his energy coming towards you consistently? Do you feel good about yourself when you're with him? Does he seem to be a good guy? Does he treat you with care and respect? And is he moving things forward and escalating his efforts? That's what I would focus on, whether a man is your age or younger or older. I would focus on those things before, getting too specific about some of these other external qualities. Did that answer your question? I hope that was helpful, but I do think I actually have a podcast episode coming up soon. So you might want to follow me over on my podcast so you don't miss it. And I do see one more question or comment. She says, he didn't want a relationship. I went no contact. Recently, he begged me to stay in his life. Will it make me less prized as I was authentic in telling him I'm not sure because I have strong feelings? Okay. Is he begging you to stay in his life or try again just because you walked away? Basically, this happens all the time. So has anything changed on his end? You said he didn't want a relationship. Does he want a relationship now all of a sudden? My guess would be no, probably not. He's just kind of stepping up because he doesn't want to lose you. But let me know, type some more in, or if we close out before you get a chance to do that, let me know in the comments section after this posts. My guess is he didn't want a relationship. What's changed about that? He likely still doesn't want a relationship. He just wants all the benefits that he's getting from you. Basically, he doesn't want to lose out on that. So that's just my intuitive hit with this one. I would definitely just stay true to that boundary and desire. Oh, she wrote in a little more. Is it a turnoff? He knows I want a relationship. I have feelings for him. I don't pressure him. This guy begs me not to leave, and I don't invest much in him. It doesn't really matter. If he doesn't want a relationship and you do, this is not your person, at least not right now. So keep moving forward with your life. It won't be a turnoff as long as you're not compromising yourself or your standards. If you're closing off all your other options and just focusing on this guy that doesn't want a relationship, absolutely that's a turnoff, right? But if you're moving forward with your life and if you want to stay in contact with him, that's up to you, but it really doesn't matter because unless he's completely changed what he wants, he's just not the right person. He's not the right fit for you. So don't worry about if it's a turnoff or not. Just keep moving forward with your life and make yourself available to someone who wants the right things. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad that was helpful with the question about age gaps. Okay, last question I see pertaining to staying too long. One tip to cope with the pain of walking away from something where you have already bonded too much. A lot of times this is a sticking point to moving on. Yeah, you know what? I just posted an episode called 3 Steps to Get Over Someone or Heal After a Breakup. That's just the most recent video I posted. I'll include a link to that in the description after this post. There's actually 3 tips there, and it's great. It's an expert. I interviewed Donna Barnes. She's a breakup recovery expert. And so that one should be really helpful because the last thing you want to do is just wait around for a man who's clearly not the right one for you, right? So that's what I have for today. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm looking forward to seeing you all over on my podcast next year. That's where I'm going to be spending most of my time. I'll include links to all of that in the description or episode details. So just click the title of this video. It'll open up the description and all kinds of things will be there for you. Thank you so much, everyone. You're so sweet. Have a wonderful evening and stay safe. And I will talk with you again very soon.